evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Thursday night, so you know what that means. It is NEP's night in North America, all throughout America and up in Canada as well. Multiple countries in this league here this evening, as always, on Thursday night. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. in the production trailer, and alongside me, Ron, Aaron Creed up here in the booth. Aaron, how are we feeling tonight, brother?
We're feeling great. We're going to be here at the old North Wilkesboro Speedway tonight. And we're not talking about the one that's been remodeled and paved here in the last year or so. We're talking about the old 1987 to 1996 version with the old school walls and everything and the very worn out pavement. So it is going to be potentially a conservation race for these NEP trucks tonight as they roll off for their base lap.
Indeed, they are. Taking a quick look at the starting grid. Kenny Kibbe on the pole. Once again in the four truck. John Peters on his outside. Corey Casagrande, great start for him. He's going to be up in the P3 spot. Reagan Parent, Brent Roy, and Steve Daddio going to be the front six.
And we're going even deeper into the field. And I don't see my graphic. I'm going to have to bring up our wonderful live timing and scoring to view everything. But we got a packed field going on here. And I think we counted 27 different trucks. I already messed up today, but 27 trucks going for today's event. So it's going to be an exciting one.
$1 into the jar already in this one. We haven't even taken the green flag. I think I got the right graphic up there as we take a peek through the remaining of the starting grid. Massive field here at North Wilkesboro. So we called in for a little bit of extra backup here on the stick. Down on pit road, Ashton Reekie. Ashton, it's getting ready to get loud real quick here. Are you getting ready to rock and roll down there?
I am. It's going to be a loud pit road. We've got some pit windows available to us about midway through this race, so keep an eye on that. And looks like a beautiful field of trucks here, and they're getting ready to go green.
Indeed, they are. Green flag waves here at the virtual North Wilkesboro for the 1729 Inc. 125 laps on the docket here tonight, and no strangers to the front row. Kenny Kibbe side by side with John Peters. They get it sorted out. The front three, single file, two wide, for third now.
Yeah, there we are. John Peters out front, where he's been here in recent weeks for the most part, as you have a yellow flag right off the bat. Did we not like that start, or do we? Ooh, look at the snowy replay graphic. Here we go.
Got some upgrades here at the old VidaneTV HQ. Just kind of sifting through the camera angles. I don't see where the issue may have been. It might have been on the start. We'll play through it here on the entirety. We've been getting pretty good with this replay machine there. Oh, saw somebody off the pace there. White truck 43. Jared Adams off the pace. But it looks like everybody gets down and away. So the Adams photo and film machine going to have to restart. P26, 28 cars. Massive field here tonight for the NEP SuperTrucks.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a big night tonight because we got 1729 Designs sponsoring today's race, and Keith Lord, the sponsor driver. That's him and Spencer Davis's business that they're doing a lot of screen printing and graphics kind of work. So cool stuff that they've been doing. He finished 4th at Iowa, so his over-under tonight is 5.5 if he's in the field. I'm trying to scan over. Is Keith with us tonight?
P10.
P10, there he is. Just saw him over the past weekend doing his spotting thing at Daytona for the 24 hours, working in a couple shifts. We got to catch up with him for a little bit. But we're going to get ready to go back to green here. Kenny Kibbe and John Peters on the front row once again. Pace truck pulls off. And we're going racing once more.
Great start there from the 09 of John Peters, able to pull away by 3 or 4 truck lengths. Kenny Kibbe going to hold on to second. Corey Casagrande having a great run in that 7 run to 17, though. Down and around last week's winner. Trouble down on the back straightaway. He's going to get stuck in the grass. No, he's able to put it in second gear and get rolling once again. Yellow flag flying relatively quickly here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, we're off to a bit of a rough start here to begin with. But hopefully we can get into a bit more of a rhythm here and get some laps under us under green. We haven't seen a single green flag lap completed just yet. And yeah, that just got a little too close for comfort there. coming off the corner and whatnot. So, well, actually, no, Regan just lost it on his own, like you were saying. Um, yeah, could that be an issue tonight? We saw that happen at, I think it was Richmond recently, where it was coming off of turn two. It was kind of treacherous, and I don't know if we're going to see that once again, potentially.
A lot of times you'll see that as we get later on into the run, as these drivers kind of burn off some of the fuel, burn off the weight off the back of the trucks. But we're only 5-6 laps into this one, so maybe we've got little cold tires, little cold feet before we get rocking and rolling. I'm sure we'll get a long green flag run in this one for sure. Ashton, what are you hearing on pit road? You talked to any of these drivers before the race, before we took the green flag?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of drivers and talked to a couple of crew chiefs down here. The biggest thing was mentioned by Aaron was the track conditions, the pavement being as rough as it is. It's going to be a tire game. It's going to be a game of consistency and just trying to save what you have at least to get to that halfway point and get your get the new tires put on, get the new fuel, and send it on your way. So it's going to be a game of attrition for the first half of this race.
And as everybody can now see, it's time to pay for Photoshop. Getting ready to go green flag racing once again. Pace car down on pit road. Another great start from John Peters, the points leader. Oh, by the way, John Peters in that 09 truck. Again, he pulls away by 3 or 4 truck lengths. And that's one of the notes we saw on Orsal TV's Ryan Salvatore's notes for the race. Capitalize on these restarts. And as we've seen here in the first 5-6 laps or so, we might be seeing a handful of those restarts throughout the night.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, John Peters is mastering them so far. And right now, though, we're continuing on, though, and we got a lap of green under us. And guess who was at the fastest lap? Mr. John Peters. But mid-pack here, we got some great battles going on. Corey Casagrande running in 4th. But look who has moved up to 2nd. Brent Roy in the 26th. Just recently named on the it's like the advisory crew or something like that for the ABC body committee for late models. So that's kind of cool. Some huge names that he's a part of with that committee, and so it was kind of cool looking at that list going. Okay, Freddie Query, multiple time super late model All-American 400 champion, and a bunch of other big names, and then Brent Roy, NEP guy. So right now we're under yellow, though, 11 laps in, and we got a mix-up here, and I think Arcel's involved.
Indeed, he is. The Arcel number 12 pointed in the wrong direction. We'll back up to U.S. Racing Designs and take a peek at it in slow motion. We're getting a little bit more comfortable with this replay box we got set up here. Oh, there's the Calamity up in front. It was a little bit more than the 12 car. Dale Glessner got a big piece of the action, and what we saw was just the tail end of what looked like a pretty big wreck. There you see Ship getting shipped from the Henry machine, I want to say, in behind, but we'll take a peek at it. Once again, the 10 gets loose. He corrects it up in the Ship. Boop, sends him on up into the outside wall. Oh, no, that's Dan Winter in the 81. Just kidding. Scott McDonald in the 44 car able to get by as well. And 12 car truck thought it was all clear, but unfortunately not able to. And it looks like got a handful down on pit road, Ashton.
Yeah, we do a couple of the guys down pit road here. Just had to get to a quieter area as the 10 truck pulled into the pit stall right beside me. They're just looking at topping up the fuel and monitoring the damage. So a little bit of sheet metal damage after some contact out on the racetrack. It looked like most of the guys down pit road were just kind of giving it a look over, top up the fuel while they're sitting there and the crew's looking it over and sending them right back out on their way.
Back 2x2, almost 2x2. Should be getting the 1 to go this time by lights still on atop the iRacing Pace truck. So we'll get everybody bunched back up. And we made mention 28 trucks here starting this race, taking the green flag here tonight. All 28 still out on the track and still out on the lead lap, albeit 15 laps into this one. Long race on the docket here this evening. And again, it's one of these kind of famed short tracks. North Wilkesboro known for some beating and banging all throughout the decades and decades of the Cup Series racing here, and now NEP racing here. And I can't remember if we made mention it or not, but the only other winner here in the NEP Series, the one time we came to North Wilkesboro, was back in Season 2, none other than Cale Gale himself. Came out, led all the laps, won the race, took the trophy, took the check, and headed on down the road. Lights off on the pace car, getting ready to take that green flag once again. Peters on the outside, Roy down on the inside.
Yeah, here we go. Would have been neat to see Cal Gale back in the NEP field sometime. And he won a truck race at Homestead in real life one year. Closed out the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season with the victory. But right now we got John Peters leading the way, Brent Roy in second, Corey Casagrande up to third as Kenny Kibbe continuing to slip back. Now he's in the clutches of Steve Daddio, who's on the outside of the 99 one-year championship contender. He got slamming the pit entrance right there. And somehow we remain under green for the time being. I think Zane Farrell linked it onto pit road somehow. And not enough debris in the groove to throw out that yellow. So there we go. So quite a hit for Zane Farrell. His night might be done. A tough break after missing last week's race. His one drop was last week as he was down in Florida enjoying himself. So not enjoying himself tonight in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Some drivers they're having a good time. There's Ryan Messer. Keith Lord having a good top 10 run in 17. I know he's told us he's probably not going to be running too many more of these races because he's got those spotting gigs, especially coming up with Daytona and Speed Weeks. I think we saw another truck get very high and almost hit the wall, if not hit the wall, behind them. But we remain under green. Evan Boyer in the 56. Austin Belke behind Boyer in the 24. He's someone that we should talk about because he's another wild card. 4 top 10s in his last 6 races, an average finish of 10th in that span. For those that were doing the NEP bets, well, he's got an over-under finish of 9.5 tonight. And guess what, Paul? We're under another yellow.
Yellow, 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 yellow. We'll back up U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out why. Looks like it might have had something to do with the 10 truck. We'll take a peek at it. We're going to bump that back up to full song, see if we can. There we go. Steve McDonald in the 44 car pointing in the wrong direction. And it looks like once again coming out of, actually that was 1 and 2 that time. Just came in high, got in a little too hot to trot. Here comes the back end of the truck. Right on around. You can see Dan Winters drives around the outside. 44 comes to a nice safe stop down there in the grass, backs up on the track, grabs the gear, gets going once again. I can't believe that 14 truck's back out on the track.
How about that? But you'll have that on those days with that multi-truck incident right there. Scott McDonald coming to pit road. Dan Winter, I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen him on pit road. Any updates down there on pit road, Ashton?
Yeah, so he's just struggling with some handling. I was just talking to the crew chief there. I guess the qualifying setup and that was all good. And for some reason, whether it be the track temperature changing or maybe the tires changing on them, just something doesn't seem to be right with that truck. So he's just come down pit road, make some adjustments, and it's still a long race. So they're going to try and get back into it and make these adjustments early to be there at the end.
That's a good point about the track conditions changing, because on a track where the asphalt is so abrasive, just to remind everyone, this is not 2024 North Wilkes, 2025 North Wilkesboro that we're looking at here. This is the original pavement that we've got, and when that happens, when the pavement is weathered, it can be quite sensitive to the different conditions, the atmospheric conditions, and be very sensitive to the way the trucks handle. So we might see a good amount of adjustments when these trucks these leaders come down towards pit road. And we're doubling up. We're getting ready for yet another restart.
And speaking of weather, you can see 68 degree Fahrenheit air temperature. Track temperature keeps dropping down to 86. We started practice at about 96, and it's cloudy, and you've got that 10, 11 mile an hour wind there. It's also super humid here as well, so that's going to be affecting these trucks, going to be making the race surface very, very greasy. Green flag flies once again. Another great restart from John Peters. He, Brent Roy, and reigning defending series champion Steve Daddio on the 99 in 3rd. They all get single file. They are side by side for 4th. Corey Casagrande still holding on to the top 5, side by side with Lord.
Yeah, maybe not for long though. Keith Lord is just working that outside line very well. We see a couple drivers that are being able to do that. and make it work in their favor. There's Evan Boyer behind board in the 56 truck, and then behind Boyer is Joey Dwyron. Always good on these short tracks. We saw him have a win at Iowa. He's pretty good at Richmond as well. Had a good run going at least, and we could definitely, most certainly, see him challenging for the victory before this is over. Joey Dwyron having a good run to 73, although he gets a little held up there coming out of that corner. Ryan Messer had to check up as well, and now that allows Austin Belke to get to the inside.
Indeed it does. Brandon Newhouse had almost a 3-wide battle in front of him. We'll ride on board with that number 3 truck for a lap or so, just to kind of get a feel as to what these drivers are putting through. You can hear just really mashing on the gas momentarily. That just a brief second, and then right back on the brake to make sure you get the truck to set up into the outside wall, scraping it just a little bit. Doesn't even look like it slowed him down very much, because you can see Belke in the 24 there down on the bottom side trying to capitalize, but Brandon Newhouse really making this high side work for him.
He sure is. Just like a few of these other drivers. Great to see Brandon Newhouse having a good run. He hasn't had much luck on the racetrack here in recent weeks. Off the racetrack, good stuff going on in the Newhouse Racing Designs household, but right now, yeah, on the racetrack, he hasn't had a couple good runs here recently, but he's looking to do some good things. And look at Reagan Parent further back, just riding that outside. And so Mike Hopkins doing the same. That's an interesting line for this racetrack. I don't know if that's the best line here, but if someone can make it work, it's Reagan Parent, our winner last week in the 17, looking to do some things, make some magic, trying out, doing what some of these other competitors are not doing.
Yeah, that 17 truck, no matter what we're driving, always likes to try and move up to the high side very, very quickly. It's where everybody else is not. So at the very least, you get 100 laps or so of getting comfortable up there. If you have to utilize that later on in the race, you can jump on up there without any issues. Up front, pretty much single file. Peters is pulled away by about 3/4 of a second over Brent Roy in second, about the same distance back to Steve Daddio there in third. They've sorted it out for third. Keith Lord there in fourth. Evan Bollier still in the top 5. I believe he qualified right there in fifth. Kenny Kibbe, Ryan Messer, Joey Dwyron, Austin Belke, and Johnny Miller up in the top 10. Got to talk to Johnny Miller. Got his first podium here in a very, very long time here recently on VidaneTV. And looks like that Eagle's flying pretty solid right now, because he's rocking the top 10 in a 28 truck field.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now, as he normally does when it comes to racing here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway and just any racetrack in recent weeks. Right now, there's another yellow.
Woo!
He's had an evening for sure.
That he has. We almost had an evening with the leaders there as well. We'll back out to Newhouse Racing Designs Instant Replay. Take a peek and see what went down with the Dan Winters ride. Once again, lost the back end of the race car. Gave a quick little fist bump there to Jeffrey Brown in the 27 car truck. I did it again. We're up to like $6 already. And there you can see the leaders there as well. So Dan Winter kind of struggling with the 81 truck, and we'll try and catch up back with the leaders. The 81's going to come down pit road. We'll see if anybody else follows him down there. But what are you hearing, Ashton?
And just like that, the 81 down pit road, he is technically, by the numbers, in the fuel window to make it to the end. So we're under the 100 lap mark. These trucks can hold 100 laps of fuel. I think it's 102 laps of fuel to be specific. But other than the tire game, if you can maintain your tires, anybody down pit road right now can make it to the end on fuel.
And that's going to be interesting to take a peek. I would imagine we're going to have some major tire fall off here in North Wilkesboro. Zane Farrell, I believe, in the 14 truck, going to get the wave by. He's going to go back down to 1 lap down, which is a great recovery after slamming into the pit wall entrance earlier on in this one. And as we take a peek at timing and scoring, which you can follow along at home with the Wingnut Timing and Scoring app by scanning that QR code or visiting vidane.tv/scoring. But you can see the top 15 trucks have stayed out. The 3 trucks came down for 2 tires, it looks like. It's going to be Jeff Brown, Adam Henry, Corey Casagrande going to give up 3rd place for those 2 tires. Everybody in behind them came down and got 4. So that was one of the notes that RR put into our sticky notes here for us. Was once these pit stops kind of jumble up the field, we're going to be on a lot of different pit strategies, especially if we keep having these cautions like this.
Definitely could be interesting and a little bit different from last week. We had a little bit of controversy about some things with restarts and positioning and things like that. But we had a yellow flag fly last week during the middle of green flag pit stops, or towards the end of it. So it kind of threw things off for who was running where. So it's going to be a different kind of strategy potentially tonight, as we're not even close to halfway yet. Pace truck pulls down again, and we're going green. John Peters and Brent Roy this time on the front row.
Keep an eye on lap 41, or remember lap 41. Corey Casagrande, Mike Hopkins both just came down pit road to top off on fuel with 85 laps to go. We'll see if that helps them out later on in the race. John Peters, Brent Roy, they break away. They're able to pull away. They've got a little bit of a cushion. It is side by side for third. Steve Daddio down on the bottom side in the 99. Keith Lord up on the top side in the number 17, and they are 2x2 all the way through with the Kibbe and Bollier down below. Bollier going to take a shot down underneath the 17 truck. They're going to rub through turn 3 and 4. They're going to cross the stripe. Lord holds on to it, but Bollier wants that 4th position.
Fantastic racing going on here. When they're able to run under green, maybe get a good green flag run going this time around. Right now, we remain under green. Some jostling for position there going on for sure, as Keith Lord does not want to give up that spot, but he's going to have to for the time being. Evan Boyer gets by and into the top 5, so a lot of really good side-by-side racing going on here at North Wilkesboro. Some of those fans, they're standing in the grass, getting a little too close to that fence watching what's going on. But I don't blame them, though, for how exciting this is turning out to be when we're under green. Ryan Messer and Joey Dwyer currently battling side by side within the top 10.
Little bit of a slide there from the 73. Johnny Miller going to try and capitalize in the 6 truck and take that momentum up on the high side. These guys are beating and banging like it's a Royal Rumble match. Sideways all the way through the turns. They gather it back up. They keep it going once again. Messer trying to break in to the top 5 in points in the NEP division after capturing, easy enough for me to say, the RBR Season 8 championship this week, as he beat Tanton Woldridge by virtue of the tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker, it was wins. He ended up having to win the race to win the championship. So that was very solid there. Ryan Messer currently 6th in points, as you can see the top 5 on your screen right now. Peters in front of Daddio by 15. Kibbe back 33 points. Brent Roy back 40. And Evan Bollier back 42. All of those guys are running up in the top 5, top 10 right now. So that goes back to the old adage, the cream rises to the top.
As always, it seems here in the NEP, but it's never over till it's over as well. It's another fun cliche. So we'll see how this continues to pan out, as we're closing in on 50 of 125 laps complete in just a few circuits, and the field's starting to spread out. But as I say that, here we go. Another yellow. Might have been, I don't know. We'll let the replay, the U-House Racing Designs replay, decide. Dan Winter's on pit road. I don't know if that's a good sign.
He's been there 3 or 4 laps. We're on board with Zane here, looks like, in the 14. He's having some issues with that old 14 truck here in North Wilkesboro. And we'll take a look here. And once again, 1 and 2. Got in there a little bit too hot to trot. Back end comes around. And Gonzo down to the grass there. Going to give a little quick. Nope, doesn't hit anything. So good news there for the 14 truck. He's going to be able to grab a gear and get rolling once again. And he is still 1 lap down, although he's got the 48 and the 21 up in front of him. But what do we got down on pit stops?
So Dan Winters just got a report from the crew chief there. They're just having some mechanical issues. It looks like electrical problems. So they're just coming down pit road trying to get that figured out. That's why you see him, I believe he's 6 laps down currently. That's just a struggle they're going through tonight. Other than that, a couple crew chiefs talking about the abrasive track. They're concerned about the exits of the corner. They're telling their drivers to back those corners up. not get on the throttle as soon. That's what you see with Zane Farrell, getting that back end around just on the throttle a little too hard on the exit of the corner. So track temperature is changing quickly, and all the crew chiefs down here kind of scrambling to make those adjustments and make sure their drivers are happy for the last 74 laps.
Yeah, we saw that weather graphic earlier here, 70-degree track temp, about 89, 90 degrees or so track temperature, but we also saw very humid here at the virtual North Wilkesboro, and the wind is ripping. It's about, she's blowing a gale out there, 11 miles an hour, and that's a lot in these super trucks, so I'm sure these drivers are feeling that as well. Dan Winter looks like he's back down on pit road, going to come back down, get some service on that 81, try and get everything back in running order. Crossing the stripe, 73 laps to go. Looks like we should have lights off. Indeed we do on the pace car. We're going to line them up 2 by 2.
We are Brent Roy and John Peters front row once again. Stephen Daddio and Keith Lord. Row number 2, Kenny Kibbe and Joey Dwyer in row number 3. And hopefully everyone can keep things going straight for quite a few more laps here. I don't know. I think Zane's goal was just that he's going to try to cover every square inch of this racetrack that he can. But you never know. He's only caught 1 lap down. A couple other trucks are only 1 lap down. They could get back on the lead lap and be right in the middle of these things. There's a few more yellows. Look at Keith Lord getting pretty anxious on that restart on that outside, and he is going to get a great run there following John Peters through. And Keith Lord up to second in one of his rare NEP starts this season. Give a call to him in the number 17 truck.
Front 3 once again get it sorted out, single file. They're side by side for second. Daddio down in the bottom. The Bluey truck is going to try and make it work up on the high side. They get a little squirrely, they gather it back up, and they get racing once again. That 73 truck looking mighty strong. Got to take a look at the number 12. How about it, Ryan Salvatore? He came down pit road 17 laps ago for 4 tires. Everybody up in front of him is on 53-lap-old tires, so it's going to be fun to watch Salvatore try and get through this top 10. He's currently running in 7th in the RSAL-TV number 12.
Yeah, Arcel's back in the middle of this thing. And bit of a surprise as we saw him get involved in an early yellow. And like you said, had to come down pit road, but it's working out for him. Whatever adjustments they decided to make an opportunity to change, here he is, running inside the top 10, having a great run. We saw Arcel was as high as 5th in points earlier in the season. Had a few really good runs. Daytona, and I think he even got a podium finish out of the season so far. So Ryan Salvatore having a great run in the number 12. Behind him, Brandon Newhouse. And there's Corey Casagrande. He's fallen back a few spots, but he's still battling it out with Austin Belke right now, having a decent run at the moment. Johnny Miller and Colby Burkholder a little bit further behind them, battling things out. Ryan Messer, he slipped back a little bit, as has Evan Bollier. And trying to remember if they came down pit road or if they just got a really bad restart there.
Yeah, Messer, Parent, and it looks like Bollier all came down under that last caution. They each got 4 tires, and they've kind of moved their way up into the top 15. They're just looking on the outside of the top 10, but man, you can see just how hard these guys are racing. And this is 15th, 16th or so. It's about mid-pack. We still have 28 drivers out on track here in this one. Parent, last week's winner in the 17 truck, down on the bottom side. Saw him get a little squirrely earlier on. He came down, got 4 tires, 10 laps to go. He's going to get around the 6 truck of Johnny Miller and try and set his sights now on Bollier. But Miller's not done. He's going to open up the door down on the bottom side.
He sure is. And we haven't really seen too many make the bottom work very well to their liking. As I say that, here comes Arcel on the 12, but actually I think he's fallen back a couple spots running this inside line. Interestingly, this outside line seems to be working a little bit better here at North Wilkesboro, as we see Brandon Newhouse kind of using the momentum off the corner there to try to find his way by Corey Casagrande, and then Arcel playing a little defense and getting a little wiggle there, and kind of bunching up the field even more.
Let's ride on board with Bollier here. We know he's got fresh tires. The truck's in front of him a little bit slower than he, and you can hear just how long he's off the throttle. Big traffic jam up ahead. Salvatore up in front. He's holding on to this thing. He's got fresh tires, and he is getting down and dirty with this group, and everybody else holding on to it. It's crazy to see here at North Wilkesboro, 2x2 for 6-8 trucks, especially battling hard outside the top 10.
Yeah, new or old pavement, this place has always seemed to have its share of excellent battles. I had a chance to attend the Smart Modified Tour finale this past year, the NASCAR Modified Tour race the previous year, and those guys put on a big show. But I also got the chance, not pre-1996, to attend North Wilkesboro, but prior to the pave and the well, we'll get back to that in a minute as we get Dan Winter around once again.
Close. Dale Glessner, 10 car. Similar number styles. Oh, you might be. Yep, you're right.
We had Winter around as well.
You caught it before I did. Little 3-wide action will back up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Jared Adams in the 43 truck not having the night he was looking for here as well. Zane Farrell, he's having a rough go of it. Tracy Glessner gets a little sideways, and I'm not really sure what went on there. I'm not sure if that was a receipt or if that was just a couple of drivers looking for the same piece of real estate.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to comment on that one necessarily. So that was interesting. But we've got wholesale pit stops going on now down pit road.
Glad we got a pit road reporter.
Yeah, the leaders are down on pit road, or most of the leaders, I should say, down on pit road now. It's the time to go. There's only 58 laps to go. All of the crew chiefs stood up on the tops of these boxes and called their drivers to pit road. It's time for tires, guys. It's time to top up that fuel. They are for sure going to make it on fuel now that everybody has come down pit road. It is now going to become a tire game. So your front pack, all of them looking like they're taking at least 2 tires. The only one that really came in and out really quickly looked like the 62 of Henry. It looks like he might have only just picked up fuel. But other than that, everybody getting tires this time around.
As Ryan Salvatore is going to restart second on the outside of John Peters here at North Wilkesboro with 56 laps to go.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, this is where the strategy becomes very interesting. Did Peter? I guess Peters stayed out in the 09.
He had,
yes. Yeah, just down here in his pit now, guys. Sorry to interrupt there. John Peters' crew chief said that he was actually very comfortable in the truck right now. He doesn't believe he needs the tires right away. He feels the way the race is going, there's going to be some more yellows, and that he still has time to come down pit road. So he said he wanted to stay out and possibly lead some more laps. So he chose the outside here on the choose. So we'll see how that pans out. Take it away, guys.
And you saw the 14 truck as Zane Farrell scoot on through in front of the pace truck there. He got the free pass last caution flag. He's back on the lead lap after slamming into that pit road entry early on in this one. And that's going to give us 24 trucks on the lead lap. Pace truck down onto the safety of pit road. We are green. The 09 truck shot out of a canyon.
Yes, he was there, Benny. And John Peters doing his thing in the 09 truck, and interesting strategy for sure. If anyone's comfortable with their truck, it's John Peters. But you do have to kind of feel like he was a bit of a sitting duck at this point. You know, when it comes down to all these yellows and everything, which we have another one involving Joey Dwyer, and yeah, like if you're the leader, everyone else behind you can make a decision that's complete opposite from you. And it looks like we're just running out of space there on the backstretch.
What were you saying about people making decisions for you? It looks like somebody made that decision for Joey Dwyer in the 73 truck. We're going to back it up quite a bit. It looks like he had a bit of a run heading into the corner. Took it all the way up high. They're 3 wide up in front of him, almost 4 wide. 4 wide briefly. Had to check up. Corey Casagrande was there. There was nothing that 7 truck could do. Oh, biscuits.
Yeah, that's one way to talk about it right there for sure. So it's another one of those deals here at North Wilkesboro tonight. How about this? This is we might set some kind of a record for number of yellow flags. That's not really the record that you want to set, but I mean, what else can you do?
That's exactly it. A couple of drivers down on pit road. Looks like some war-torn race trucks down there. Anything happening on pit road, Ashton?
Just the usual couple guys coming back down. They did have 2 sets of tires for this race, so a couple guys have taken their second set. Were able to come down early on, as we saw, grab another set and set themselves up to grab this second set with only 50-ish laps to go by the time they come back to green flag. So just the normal down here. I know Winters had come back down. They pushed it behind the wall. It looked to be an electrical, possibly a battery issue that they just couldn't seem to get resolved. So he's, I believe he's done for the evening.
Electrical demons catching up in real racing and in sim racing. It's always frustrating when the realism is really real and you end up having an issue like that. Ends your night early. But gonna get the restart here with 50 laps to go. A little bit of a shootout. I believe we're good on fuel. I believe we're okay on tires. Except for John Peters, he's going to have to pit at one point or another. And at that point, does everybody else come down? There's a couple of guys that have come down and taken their second set of tires, so they're going to have to kind of force their hand if we get a late race caution. This is going to get crazy. Pace truck down on pit road. Bollier down on the bottom side. Peters up top. Looks like the entire second row may have spun their tires unless that start was just that good for that front row.
Yeah, John Peters has been mastering those starts, but Evan Boyer is right there with him. And we've got our first challenge for the lead tonight, pretty much. John Peters has been able to get out there, but you see that truck is drifting a little bit. It might be those older tires. He's still trying to fight back. Why wouldn't you anyways, since you got new tires in the pit box anyways? Evan Boyer, though, trying to fight back. We said the only other time at North Wilkesboro we had a flag-to-flag win. Well, John Peters is trying to continue that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but look at Corey Casagrande marching his way, trying to march his way towards the front once again in that number 7 truck. They all keep it going the correct direction.
I was going to say that 7 truck seems to be 78 Hopkins up on the outside wall once again. Get a little scrape there. I was going to say the 7 truck is so much quicker than all these guys. Maybe he's got newer tires, but everybody around him's got newer tires too. Corey Casagrande on a mission here at North Wilkesboro, stuck in the middle. Burkholder up on the top side. The 24 truck down on the bottom of Belkey. They get it sorted out. They're back down to 2 wide, but keep an eye on Corey Casagrande. He's just on the outside of the top 10 looking in.
Yes, he is. And we see some other drivers battling. Adam Henry, we saw him kind of short pit there in the 62 truck. But he's still running that inside the top 10 at the moment. Jeffrey Bradway in the 13. He's had some good runs as of late, but this is the first time we're talking about him tonight in the 13. He's battling with Stephen Daddio. He got a little loose off the corner there, and Adam Henry had to check up just a tad. We did have a lead change further up. John Peters is now back to, I think, 3rd spot. And right now it's Evan Boyer and Ryan Messer battling up top.
Bollier and Messer both came down pit road 30 laps ago. John Peters has not been down pit road yet this evening, so to be able to hold on to the 3rd spot is definitely a tall order, and you can see Ryan Messer all over the back bumper now of our new leader, Evan Bollier, in that 56 truck. Peters sliding back. He's about 3/4 of a second on back, but they're side by side. Pair of 17s in behind him. Keith Lord going to get down underneath Reagan Parent in that other 17 truck up on the high side, but Parent going to go right back to that high side and try and gain some of that momentum back, and Kibby's going to try and take a look under the bottom side, and we're going to take a quick pause for the cause because caution flag has come out. Oh, Johnny Miller in the 6 truck into the outside wall.
Yeah, not a good moment there. Adam Henry involved as well in the 62. Let's see what happened riding along with Johnny Miller in that 6 truck for a moment. But we're going to see. It looked like Adam Henry got a little loose to the inside and tried to overcorrect there, or tried to correct it. Got into the side of John Miller.
Similar to what we've been seeing all night there in turns 1 and 2. Henry just in there a little bit too hot to trot, and a little synchronized spinning there with he in the 6 truck. Colby Burkholder gets a piece of the action as well, and looks like he got company down there, Ashton.
Yeah, right away, right when that yellow came out, the crew chief of John Peters jumped up in his seat and looked down at the crew and said, "Guys, he's coming. He needs those tires now. He needs them quickly." So they still believe they have a chance to work their way back up to the front with 41 to go. Again, banking on a couple more cautions. A couple of the crew chiefs further on down pit road were talking about the fuel saving. Not that it's going to be an issue, but a couple of the guys did not get a full tank the last time down, but most of them are saying they should be okay just with the amount of caution laps they think they've saved enough to make it to the end. So fuel not out of the question, but certainly not going to be the first concern. I think it's still going to be tires for most of these front guys that are on about 34 to 35 lap stints right now.
And you saw Eric Kern in the 21 truck going to go by, get the free pass here. Going to put 25 cars on the lead lap. Scott McDonald currently 2 laps down in that 44 truck. Zane Farrell, Dan Winter both parked in the garage. Evening done for the evening. So everybody's come down. They've gotten pit stops throughout the top 10, throughout the entirety of the field. Evan Bollier up front. Ryan Messer there in second. Recently crowned RBR Season 8 champion by winning the final bonus round in the RBR race this week. Kenny Kibbe there in third. Keith Lord, Corey Casagrande. Great recovery by that 7 truck. That pink and purple machine might have something for some of these leaders in these closing 38 laps or so.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Anything can happen, really, especially with all these yellows we've been having. We've only got 30. Well, when we go back to green, there'll be 38 laps to settle it. Evan Boyer and Ryan Messer on the front row. John Peters way back in the field now. Boyer gets a good restart, clears Ryan Messer going into turn 1. Kenny Kibbe on the outside of Keith Lord as they battle for third. And here's Corey Casagrande once again in the middle of this battle, and Steve Daddio inside of him.
Still side by side for the lead. Messer trying to take it down the bottom side. Bollier holding on tough up on the high side. The 17 of Keith Lord running in third. Kenny Kibbe there in fourth. Big wiggle for Lord. He's going to slide back to the 4th position. Kibbe going to try and take advantage, but Lord shakes it off, pulls the belts tight, and he's going to keep attacking down to the bottom side. Still side by side for the lead. They cross the stripe. It's still the 56 truck, but Ryan Messer is right there in that number 1.
They're right there for sure. It's getting pretty close. A lot of things going on right here to settle things out. And as we pan through the field here with 35 laps to go, Kenny Kibbe muscling his way on the outside now for 2nd spot. And he hasn't gotten the position yet. Ryan Messer fighting back there. He's got it now for the time being. Got some contact midfield going on, but they all keep it straight, it looks like. There's John Peters marching through. Just got by Garrett Benson in the 77. Garrett seems to have a different paint scheme every time we see him in this series in that 77 truck, but he's doing a good job staying out of trouble, although we just saw some smoke there coming from the back of it. Regan Parent now gets by in the 17, and got all kinds of battles going on all over this racetrack. Keith Lord is under Ryan Messer for 3rd spot. Here comes Corey taking a peek.
Yeah, Messer had a little bit of a connection issue a couple of laps ago. It looks like it's all sorted out right now. That 7 CT truck looks super strong. Corey Casagrande in the top 5, trying to take that 4th position from Ryan Messer, and they are still very, very hot for the lead. The 56 of Bollier holding on to it. The 4 of Kenny Kibbe right in his tire tracks, right on the back bumper as they thunder on in to turns 3 and 4. Coming to the stripe, going to be 31 laps to go for the 56 of Bollier.
Yeah, a lot going on right now. Too many things to look at all at once, for sure. But Kenny Kibbe really putting the pressure on Evan Boyer. As we see, we're going to go crack through the field. I think we're probably trying to look for John Peters here. Coming through the field. There he is. And he's already inside the top 10. How about that? John Peters using a totally different strategy than these other competitors. And he's up to about 7th spot already. So John Peters doing his thing. But meanwhile, up front, Kenny Kibbe inside Evan Boyer. Can he get the lead with under 30 laps to go? Looks like he's got a good shot at it.
Saw an opening and took it, just enough for him to slide on up, and the 56 says, all right, I'll take a shot down at the bottom side. He's going to go down to the apron, and We're going to get ourselves a caution to think about it here as it flies once again here with 29 laps to go. I believe it may have been the 10 truck, but we'll take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. I might have lied. It might have been the 21. Let's take a peek.
Yeah, Eric Kern, series rookie. Looks like he was able to avoid whatever happened.
Yeah, everything looked good there. Might have been for that 10 truck. See if we can back this up one more time. I was talking so much good about this replay box, and then it wants to go. There it is. Lester just real quick to call for the tow truck, all it was, and we'll back it up. He was racing with Salvatore here in the number 10. And loses the back end of the race truck, backs it into the fence, gathers it back up. Nope, big hit with the nose, so he's going to call for the tow truck. That was a little bit on the sketchy side, and we're late in the going of this one, but they're not done on pit road. It looks rather busy down there, Ashton.
No, a lot of these guys taking their last sets of tires. Evan Bollier only taking her right sides, topping up that fuel. And the other cars kind of doing the same. It looks like a lot of guys just taking 2 tires, possibly some of them further on down pit road, just out of my view, taking the 4 tires, but not too many new tires left on this pit road as with only 27 laps to go, pretty much all the teams now have used both their sets. Some guys still have the odd set left on there. Peters still has a set left down here. Not sure if he'll have time to come down and use those, but in an emergency, he has those. He's worked his way back up to P4, and I'm going to make my way down there and talk to the crew chief in a few minutes here.
I don't think Peters needs tires. I think that would be an unfair advantage. He's running 4th right now. Just came down 15 laps ago, having a monster run in that 09 truck. Kenny Kibbe, Keith Lord, Corey Casagrande, John Peters, and Austin Belke, the top 5 as they run. We can tell you the top 11 stayed out. Reagan Parent, John Miller, Jeff Bradway, Brian Shipp, Mike Hopkins, and Jeffrey Brown. Evan Bollier, first driver off pit road with 4 tires. Ryan Messer right behind him. This is going to be crazy. 25 laps to go. Going to get the restart with 24 laps to go. Who do you pick?
I'm not even gambling on that. Right?
Neither am I.
So let's see what happens here when we go back to green once again. Going to be under 25 laps remaining to settle this one. Kenny Kibbe on the
no.
Boy, big trouble. John Peters involved. And he keeps going though, but Keith Lord, big damage on this restart. It looked like Kibbe got a great jump and Lord was trying to catch up. Maybe, I mean, who knows? We're going to have to hear some of the chatter after this race. Don't know if Lord thought Kibbe might have jumped, but I mean, they're at the restart line right there. And it just looks like Lord didn't get going just as well. And there you see Peters trying to take advantage on the outside. Not enough space there.
Yeah, we know Peter's very good on restarts, but unfortunately you can't restart until the guy in front of you goes. And I think we'll back it up one more time. It's rare to see either of those drivers make a mistake, especially on the restarts. We'll take a peek here. I think the 17 may very well have spun the tires as well. Kind of a combination of everything. Everything that could go wrong went wrong there. And Keith Lord, you can see already down on pit road. I'm curious to see if the 09 picked up any front end damage on that ordeal and whether or not it's going to affect the handling of that 09 Toyota.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. And once we go back to green, I'm sure we'll find out. Not sure if Keith Lord's going to get back out on that racetrack. He's not really running for points this season. So tough break for a driver that was running in the top 5 most of the night. But there you see your current top 5, Kenny Kibbe, John Peters, Corey Casagrande's been having a great night tonight. And then 4th is Regan Parent, suddenly up to 4th. That I don't know how that happened, but he's trying to go for 2 in a row here. And there is 5th, Austin Belke. We talked about him having a very good night, or a very good most recent races. I think he's still looking to break through for that first victory, if I remember correctly. But right now, definitely a driver to watch.
And it should be coming to the stripe with 1 to go. Ooh, the 09 truck getting a penalty for that one. Looks like he's going to be getting sent to the back of the pack with 20 laps to go. You just saw the graphic there on the bottom right of your screen. That 09 truck is the points leader coming into this one after the drop week. So less than 20 laps to go involved in the incident. They're going to deem it on the 09. That's going to send Peters to the back. This is going to be an interesting restart now with Kenny Kibbe and Corey Casagrande, the front row.
Yeah, how about that? Like, so I'm looking at the running order right now. Timing and scoring correct. How about Jeff Brown running in 10th spot? I think that's correct. That's what.
There he
yeah,
is.
that's what we're showing. Yeah, having a great top 10 run. In the 27th, Ryan Shipp in the top 10 right now. I think we did see some pit stops go on, which is why we see some of these drivers shuffled back, like Ryan Messer. But this is going to be interesting. It's also interesting if we get another quickie yellow. Does that allow John Peters to come in for his second set of tires? Why not if you're running in the back of the field already? And it took him no time to get up there the first time. So there's a lot of questions to be answered here very shortly as we are under 20 laps to go.
And just when they get the answers, we change the questions. Green flag once again, more tire spin on the restarts. This time Corey Casagrande on the bottom side in the 7CT, but they get it all sorted out. This time, Kenny Kibbe able to drive away. We're getting ready to be 3 wide for second between the 7, the 24, and the 17. Johnny Miller is there. Bollier's there. How about Mike Hopkins in the 78? He's running P7.
So excited your voice cracked there for a second. So
at almost 40. Can you believe that?
Well, when it's time to change. Regan Parent right now running in 4th spot, trying to track down those front 3, Austin Belke, Corey Casagrande, and Kenny Kibbe. Johnny Miller having a good top 5 run. We talked to him on the podium a couple weeks ago. Could we be talking to him once again in that number 6 truck before this night is over? But right now, Kenny Kibbe checking out in that number 4 truck out in the lead.
That 6 truck had a date with the outside wall earlier on in this one, running in the top 5 right now. Open the door there for the 56 of Bollier, but he holds on to the spot right now. And as we get later and later into this one, you can see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they're running completely different lines around this racetrack. And there you see it, prime example. 17 going to take a peek down low underneath Belke in the 24. They touch at the line. Looks like the 24 going to hold on to the spot for now, but last week's winner wants a piece of the podium. Whoa, big slide from the 17.
We're doing some sliding tonight, but Regan Parent keeps it under control as they battle for that 3rd spot. Corey Casagrande leading this pack of hungry trucks in that 2nd position. Belke's going to get super loose. He dirt tracks it, and he's going to lose a few positions, but he keeps going. How about that? I think we might need to see the replay of that one, Paul.
Clip that, Sal. That's gonna be the move of the year. 3 wide. How about that? Parent dropping back. Belke down on the bottom side. Almost hit the replay button, but we would have missed all the action. These guys know it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. 12 laps to go. 11 at the stripe. Messer gets a piece of the action. He drops back outside of the top 10. Here comes Brent Roy in the 26. Regan Parent in the 17 trying to bounce back. Hopkins in the 78 truck up onto the I side. He's trying to make some moves.
All kinds of action going on. Meanwhile, up front, you've got trucks continuing to battle. Kenny Kibbe's out by himself in the lead, but Corey Casagrande, Evan Boyer battling hard for second. There's Steven Daddio back in the picture in that 4th spot in the number 99 truck. Could he have something for these leaders before the night is over? We haven't talked a ton about Steven Daddio tonight, like we have most of the season, but he could have a big points night if John Peters isn't able to make up a ton of positions after that penalty. I may have spoke too soon because John Peters is he's moving up already, but he's not too far up. Right now, though, mid-pack, Jeffrey Bradway in the 13 truck, Ryan Messer, all battling. Oh, we got a truck sent head first into the wall. Oh, we got a couple more. There's Bulk. He avoided all that trouble earlier, and now he's involved in this one. Regan Parent and John Miller involved as well.
Yeah, it's going to take out a lot of fast trucks here in the late going, less than 10 laps to go in this one. Focus in on the 17 and the 6. They were involved in this one. You can see Uhouse and Brent Roy side by side and just sideways there for the 17. I want to back that up. He's been using that high line all night long and just kind of loses the back end, just right across the nose, into the nose there of the 6, and unfortunately sends the 24 into the 6. So 3 trucks, lots of damage in the late going here, and that's 3 very quick trucks here as well.
Yeah, that was a tough break for a few of those drivers right there, but everyone's going to get it back going, and then, well, for the most part. And we'll get going here for this last final dash. Do you think we'll go the rest of the distance without a yellow?
No.
I don't know.
Nope. Nope. But the call of the night's going to go to our man down there on pit road, because what did John Peters just do? He came down pit road and he slapped those last 4 tires on.
Yeah, he absolutely did. They had them ready for quite a few laps, actually. The last time we talked, when he took the penalty, the crew jumped up quickly and got those tires ready. And I think they were trying to get him down pit road right after he took that penalty. But you saw where he stopped on the racetrack. He stopped way back just past the pit entrance, so he couldn't dive down onto pit road, and they had warned him not to back up. So he sadly had to just join the back of the field. That's why you didn't see him making too many gains early on. So the crew was not exactly excited for that yellow to come out, but they were quite happy to see that he was able to come down. He'll only have about 4 or 5 laps to make up as many positions as possible, but with fresh tires and everybody else, on at least 21 lap old tires, I'm assuming he's going to work his way through the field a little bit quicker than what he was before.
He's going to have to do something with 5 laps to go, because he only had a 15-point lead over Steve Daddio. Daddio currently running in 3rd. They see him in the 99 truck 4th. Check that. He's on the outside. Bollier going to restart down to the bottom side. Kenny Kibbe up on the high side. Corey Casagrande still there as well. Brandon Newhouse in the 3 truck up to the top 5. Brent Roy, Jeff Bradway, Ryan Salvatore, Ryan Messel, Mike Hopkins in the top 10. Pace trucks down to the pit road, sliding sideways once again, but we restart. 56 able to tuck into the tire tracks of the 4 of Kibbe, side by side for 3rd as we come out of turn number 2.
Yeah, we got 4 laps remaining. Evan Boyer barely clears that 99. Steven Daddio getting into that outside lane, and now he's going to dive to the inside once again, trying to do what he can with that 4 of Kenny Kibbe. Further back, Mike Hopkins getting a little on the high side. They're battling Jeffrey Bradway. Ryan Messer making it 3 wide. Oh, boy. Steve Daddio to the outside of Corey Casagrande. And for 3rd, Brent Roy's coming up towards the front once again. Brandon Newhouse, like you said, is battling up there. So, whole lot going on right now.
And pick your favorite flavor. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. Kenny Kibbe side by side with the 56. The Bollier down into 3 and 4 for the final. What could be the second to final time this evening.
Yeah, we're side by side for the lead as we come to take the white flag there. Or was that 2 laps to go?
Nope, that was white flag.
Lap. There it is. Kenny Kibbe and Evan Boyer are not giving each other any inches there. Could we see them? Hopefully they keep it straight here, but coming to the line, we're going to have a great battle and possible photo finish. They're rubbing and we're wrecking, and I think Evan Boyer got the win, and we're wrecking behind them too.
We just tore up a lot of virtual race cars. We're going to have to take a look at the tapes on that one and find out exactly who's going to come home with the victories. Right now, timing and scoring telling us the 56th truck of Evan Bollier going to come home with the victory. What a finish to a crazy race here. We'll take a look at the top 10, and we're going to talk to our top 3 here momentarily. After 125 laps here for the 1729 Inc. 125 of the virtual North Wilkesboro, Evan Bollier, Kenny Kibbe, Steve Daddio going to finish on the podium. Another podium for that 99 truck. Great night for the points battle for him and that crew. Corey Casagrande in 4th. How about Ryan Salvatore? Top 5, 5th in the 12 truck. Brandon Newhouse, Brent Roy, Jeff Bradway, Ryan Messer, and Colby Burkholder going to round out the top 10. And pretty hectic race, but a pretty good race all in all.
Yeah, definitely. I lost count of the number of yellows we had there. But looks like Evan Boyer was able to get it done. It looks like he's our official winner. And we're going to catch up with our top 3 finishers here very shortly.
Indeed, we are down here in Victory Lane with the driver of the number 56 truck. Heck of a race. That was a lot. Talk to us. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, guys, thank you. Just hard racing for the win. I had better tires at the end there, and Kibby got by me earlier on a better set, and once he got by me, I knew I had to pit if I wanted to win. We weren't going to win like that, so came in, got some tires, and was able to get through the field and had that last restart. Kibby did a really good job on the top, especially the first few laps protecting, and I was able to get a run on the bottom and came out of 4. I just matted it. Didn't think we'd wreck like that, but didn't really expect that. But man, just 2 guys going for the win. Neither of us want to lose, so I respect Kibby for that. He never wants to get beat by me. I never want to get beat by him. So came out of turn 4, and both of us were going for it.
Absolutely. Heck of a finish, putting on a show here for the masses that we like to entertain here. And we noticed the racetrack very slick almost all evening long. How long into a run did you start to feel those tires fall off?
Yeah, about 25, 30 laps into it. You can really feel it. Yeah, I didn't expect it to really go that way. I mean, I knew the fall off was bad, but I thought it'd be much harder to get through traffic and make passes, but it certainly wasn't. Yeah, it was tires really meant a lot. That first run really showed me and Messer. I just followed Messer right through. Big Orange was making a lot of holes going through the field. He was doing a great job. I just stuck right to his bumper, and we were able to get back up to the front. And then, like I said, once Kibby took tires and a few of those other guys, and he got by me, I knew we had to do something different, and we did, and things worked out.
Solid burnout at the end of it here. We'll give you an opportunity to thank anybody out there watching who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack.
Yeah, I got to thank all the support from 229 Autosport. Got to thank Hancock Lumber, Nitro Designs. I got a lot of great partners on this car. Brett Davis Real Estate, or this truck, I mean. ABG Heating and Cooling, Atlantic AV, Laverier Auto Detailing, LB Cleaning Co. Love you, Linz. Gotta say hi to Millie. Just really, really lucky, and it all worked out for us tonight.
Absolutely coming home with the W, making it look easy in that 56 truck. Congratulations here tonight.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate all you do.
Absolutely. Going to move it on down pit road. Aaron, you've caught up with our second place driver, Mr. Kenny Kibby.
Yeah, Kenny looked like you had it in the bag there until that last yellow, and Evan battled you hard there for the victory. Take us through your point of view of how that those last couple laps went.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get a really good restart. I knew Evan was on a tire advantage. So I pretty much nailed the restart, and then just needed to run some qualifying laps. My tires were starting to go away. And then when I saw how aggressively Evan was charging the corner entries, I kind of like gave him the bottom a little bit because I just couldn't go in that deep, and I didn't want to get hit from behind. So I kind of just gave a lane and figured I'd just use the momentum on the outside for the last couple laps or so to just stay in the lead at the line. It's all you need to do, right? So, and then come off a 4 on the last lap. Yeah, he just fenced me. I mean, like you can see plain as day how he comes way off the bottom from where he was. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, I feel like I did everything I could have done. But that's, again, the penalty I take for racing guys clean is I get the short end of the stick.
Well, despite coming home a spot short in the final order, though, a pretty good points day after John Peters had that penalty earlier in the race. Are you thinking about points or anything like that just yet, or is it still just too early?
Well, last couple of races have been pretty rough, so I kind of took the points picture kind of out of my mind and just kind of approaching every race just individually, just trying to go from wins and things like that. Usually that helps too. It just kind of helps take the pressure off and just kind of try to have fun. And you're right, today was a really good points day, all things considered. And at first I didn't think it was going to happen. We kept getting restarts and I kept getting put to the bottom and losing spots. And I was trying to just settle in and run a smooth race. But then the second half kind of came around to us, and things were starting to go our way, and they almost came to fruition. And still a good, points day, but should have had a little more.
Yeah, we'll give you an opportunity once again to thank those who get you into and from North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Yeah, just thank you guys in the booth for all the broadcasts. Thank Corey and the guys for putting this league together every week. Thank my teammates at 4 Wide Weaponry. It's always a blast in the Discord room every week. And thank all my friends and family who like to watch these races every week.
All right, that's second place finisher Kenny Kibbe. And rounding out the podium, I believe, Paul, you have him or is Ashton have him?
I think Ashton's got him. He's down there on pit road.
Yes, I've caught up with Steve Daddio. A solid points night, a great run for that 99 truck. What were you seeing coming to the line right in front of you, all the calamity?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like to be the guy to point fingers, but Evan might as well have turned right. And I mean, I get it. Short track, you got to get your wins, but there's other ways of doing it. I don't know. I feel bad for my teammates. They got used up, and this has kind of been a reoccurring theme where one team's using up another, and I guess it's kind of on 4 Wide at this point. Maybe start standing up for each other and returning that and a little bit of payback. And I feel for Kibbe. He did everything he was supposed to, and he gave him the line. He didn't have to. He didn't have to race him. So. Yeah, like I said, I feel bad for Kibbs. I get what Evan was doing or trying to do, but that's I don't think that flies at the track, on Friday or Saturday night. It may fly here, I get it. It's video game, but it's still tough. Sucks to see.
Absolutely, a bunch of different strategies in this race with the track changing all night long, and with how aggressive the pavement was. The strategy seemed to pay off for you. You ended up on the podium. Anything you would have done different?
I don't get to run short tracks a lot, especially, or when I do, they're not this distance. So I'm kind of learning on the fly here. And again, in the Discord with my teammates, I can't thank them enough, Sal, Austin, and Kenny. We're just kind of talking about it, what we should do. And it kind of boiled down to just, let's see how the cautions fell. These tracks breed cautions no matter what. Once you bunch everybody back up, everybody's fighting for that inch. And I took it, I think, probably halfway and then again late because I figured, if we did get a little bit of a run, I could pick some spots up. And both calls ended up being the right thing to do. On the long runs, I was probably running high middle. And then as the run went on, I kept inching the car lower and lower to that bottom groove. But on the short runs, I just went right to the bottom. I mean, you can't give up the spots. Like I said, everybody's diving it in there, trying to take it. So the strategy, it definitely wasn't planned, seemed to work out. And coming on P3 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely, and again, we'll give you another chance to thank the guys on there, the sponsors on your truck who helps you get to and from North Wilkesboro.
I got to thank friends and family out there watching on YouTube. This is kind of a tough one, but it's an exciting finish. So hopefully you guys hung in there. My dad, Daddy's Auto Parts on the hood of the truck. Reverie Brewing out of Newtown, Connecticut. If you're in the area, stop in for a beer. YRD, thank you, Brandon. The truck looks sick. Like it's so cool to put it on the podium. When I can and get this thing some TV time. The paints, they're always nice. Everything you do. You guys up in the booth, really appreciate you calling the race again. I'll be watching this one tomorrow, I'm sure. The guys that put this league on, I'm sure they're going to have a lengthy discussion after this. I'm sure there's going to be some penalties handed out, and if not, it's all good. It's short track racing. And then my teammates over at 4 Wide, it's a tough night. Kenny got the win, and then on the other side, you got Austin kind of shoved out there. But Sal came home fifth, and I put on 2 cars on the podium, like I said, and it ain't a bad night. So, thanks, guys.
Absolutely, congratulations again on the podium, and good luck next week. So, Paul, that's another good race in the books.
A good race, a long race here in the NEP series, and entertaining to say the least. Be sure to get all the social media outlets. We're on Twitter, TikTok. I don't have to say the whole thing. You know the deal. Give us the like, the subscribe, the follow, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know about this race car thing we like to do here almost every night of the week, it seems like. That's going to do things here. Easy enough for me to say. That's going to do it here for us here at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we'll be doing it live.